is Brittany, and in today's video I'm going to be doing an intro to a series that I will be doing on my channel. The series is basically going to be all different animal videos, whether it is on the dog or the cat or the rabbit, and it's just going to be more informative videos, but today is just a fun one, and it's just going to be showcasing my pets, kind of introducing you guys to my furry friends, and just kind of have fun with it, and also for my own benefits, because I never remember when my pets' birthdays are, or like their birth month, because they're all adopted. I don't really count their birthday, although Bruno we had since a puppy, so we do know his birthday, but my other three pets, we don't actually know their birthday. So this will be a nice refresher for me so that I remind myself when my other pets' birthdays are, but also something fun for you guys to watch because it'll be all about my pets.
I'm going to start this introduction off with my first cat. Her name is Nala. She is a black domestic short-haired cat and weighs about 8 pounds. I adopted her from the SPCA in January of 2016, where she was treated for pyometra, which, if you don't know what that is, it's basically an infection of the uterus. And this is really common in animals who are young when they give birth. And she was aged at about 2 years old. She was believed to come from a colony, although it's not quite sure if that was the case or not, because she is quite a friendly cat. She's not very feral, but she does have some pack tendencies, such as chirping at birds. Since getting her, she has had tapeworm, roundworm, fleas, nail bed infections, alopecia, and wicked bouts of vomiting. I do believe that the roundworm and tapeworm both contracted from her time at the SPCA, and she hasn't had it since she's been in my care, and I've managed that basically by keeping her as an indoor cat. She had gotten fleas from when I babysat another cat. It is what it is, but it was pretty unfortunate that it did happen to her, because if you don't know, fleas can be quite difficult to get rid of. The nail bed infection, alopecia, and vomiting, we have no idea what the cause is, but we do suspect, and my veterinarian suspects, that this is from an allergy to poultry products, and a large amount of vomiting that she has could be from dry kibble, and that's just more of a digestive tract issue. I had her on a raw diet, and all symptoms such as the alopecia, nail bed infection, and vomiting for the most part had went away. So I'm definitely going to be putting her back on a raw food diet. Currently she is 5 years old, and she is the sassy little teenager. Basically, she gives affection when she thinks you're not looking, or when her food bowl is empty. And if the food bowl is empty, you know, because she loves you aggressively. Moving on to my next pet, his name is Sparrow. He is an orangey brown with white markings and a little gray on his ears. He's roughly about 3 pounds, and we classified him as a dwarf lionhead, although it's not certain that that is what his breed is, but you can just tell because he kind of has a little bit of mane, and he is a very, very little bunny. I had adopted him also at the SPCA when he was 2 years old in March of 2017. The initial plan was just to foster him until he was ready for his neuter. Because my SPCA is smaller and there was no real quiet spot for him, I didn't want him to get stressed out before his surgery. But good news, my roommate and I decided to flip him over to check out, because that's, you know, what animal scientists do in their spare time. And lo and behold, he was already neutered. So I went into the SPCA and signed his paper so that I would become his legal caretaker. Almost a year after he was adopted, I found a large lump on the side of his neck. If you're squeamish, you might want to look away. I called my vet and made an appointment that day. He was looked at, and we decided to go ahead with the surgery, even with the worry that it was an ulcer in his jaw, which, if you don't know, those are quite aggressive and there's not much of a treatment. Luckily, I was able to watch his surgery, and we discovered that he had a caseous abscess, which was likely caused by an infection given by none other than my cat. And this is because we found out that there's a type of bacteria native to cats that is actually toxic to rabbits. The infection started because of a missing enzyme in rabbits, pus into liquid, and that's what caused the infection to encapsulate and continue to grow. Sparrow is now a 4-year-old and keeps away from his cat brother and sister and eats hay all day. Moving on to my next fur baby, his name is Taka. He is a gray domestic short-haired cat at roughly 8 pounds, which is the same as Nala. I adopted him from the SPCA in about October of 2017, and he was 1 year old. In that first year of life, he was dropped off at the SPCA at 8 weeks and then adopted out to family number 1. They ended up having to return him to the SPCA because they found out that their child was allergic. So the SPCA took him in and he was adopted out to family number 2. The second family had him until their child came back from university and then had brought him back because he kept peeing on his son's belongings. If this is a problem for you guys, I highly recommend adding an additional litter box and keeping your home relatively clean. For example, keep your dirty clothes in an area the cat can't access, and if it persists, then check the vet, as there could be other issues like a urinary tract infection. This caused him to return back to the SPCA, and the SPCA adopted him out again to home number 3. This was a very short trip for him. It was only a one-night stay, as the owner had brought him back because they decided they couldn't handle the commitment of a pet. I cannot say this enough. If you plan on getting a pet, make sure you do research on their care and make sure you're able to provide it. After all of those rejects, he literally jumped into my life. Like, literally. He was in his crate and he jumped out into my arms. And I honestly would not take him back for the world. He gives the best cuddles and loves to have naps on his mom. Whenever I come out of the shower, he's always there ready to snuggle. His favorite places are in my lap, in the linen closet, on my side of the bed, and on the bath mat. Moving on to my last and biggest fur baby, and he really is a baby, is my white Jinju mix. He was conceived in South Korea and born in Canada. I adopted him at 8.5 weeks old from a rescue called Marley's Hope. It's not clear as to what actually happened to his mom, but it's believed that an aggressive dog got in with her and killed all but 2 of her pups. Fortunately, the pups found an adoptive mom speculated to be his aunt. Without the Humane Society of Canada working to shut down dog farms in South Korea, Bruno may have never left to have a happy life with me. Bruno is now about 50 pounds. He is exactly 11 months old. Things that he can do, although he is still learning every single day, is sit, lay down, give high five, shake a paw, go up, and he has a pretty solid stay as long as Taka isn't walking by. His favorite thing to do is go to the dog park and roll in mud and chase Taka around the apartment. Alright guys, I hope you liked this video. Comment below if you got the pattern in my pet's names. I bet some of you may not. Like I said in the beginning, this will be the start of a series of videos I'm going to put up on my channel every Wednesday. I will be going through the do's and don'ts about owning a cat, dog, or rabbit, giving tips and tricks on calming unruly behavior, showing you how to formulate your pet's food in both cats and dogs, and I do mean raw, and much, much more. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you will be notified next time I post a video. Bye guys.